The moment someone walks out of your life, your brain doesn't think logically. It panics. It starts screaming, text them, call them, explain yourself, fix it, save it. Because silence feels like death. Distance feels permanent. And your mind tells you, if I don't do something right now, I'll lose them forever. So you reach, you beg, you over-explain, you pour your heart out, you try to prove your value. And without realizing it, you teach them something dangerous, that losing you doesn't cost them anything. Begging doesn't create regret. Begging creates relief. Relief that they still control you. Relief that they can leave and still access you. If you want someone to regret losing you, real regret, the kind that hits them months later at 2 a.m. when they're alone, staring at the ceiling, replaying memories, you must do the exact opposite of what your emotions demand. Because regret is not created by presence. Regret is created by absence, plus contrast. And today, I'm going to walk you through the 4 psychological shifts that turn their relief into curiosity, curiosity into discomfort, discomfort into obsession, and obsession into regret. Not manipulation, not games, power. The first shift is what I call the stranger treatment. When someone leaves you, they expect a reaction. They expect emotion. They expect chaos. They expect tears. They expect anger. They expect long messages. They expect you to collapse. Because your reaction confirms something important to them. I still matter. I still have influence. I still have control. You remove that completely. The stranger treatment does not mean being rude. It does not mean pretending they don't exist. It means polite, neutral, shallow, emotionless. Imagine running into someone you barely know. You nod. You maybe say, "Hey." You keep walking. No story, no energy, no engagement. That is exactly how you treat the person who broke your heart. This feels unnatural because your emotions want release. But discipline creates power. Here's what most people don't understand. Anger shows they matter. Sadness shows they matter. Coldness shows they matter. Only indifference tells the brain they no longer exist in my emotional world. And when someone who once had full access to your soul is suddenly treated like a random stranger, their brain glitches. They don't feel victorious. They don't feel powerful. They feel confused. Confusion is the first crack in the ego. They start asking, did I mean nothing? How did they detach so fast? Were they already over me? Did I misjudge my importance? You never say a word, but their mind starts having conversations with itself. That's how regret begins. Once you master controlled interactions, you move to the most difficult step: total silence. Not silence treatment, not waiting, not hoping they notice. Removal. No texting, no calling, no checking in, no liking, no reacting, no watching their stories, no accidental contact, nothing. Most people sabotage themselves here. They say, I won't text them, but I'll still watch. That still feeds their ego. That still tells the algorithm. That still tells energy, I'm here. The brain does not miss what it can still observe. It misses what disappears. Silence creates a vacuum, and vacuums pull thoughts, pull memories, pull curiosity. When you disappear, they lose their emotional mirror. They don't know if you're sad, if you're angry, if you moved on, if you found someone else, if you're thriving. Uncertainty is mentally exhausting. The human mind hates unanswered questions, so it starts inventing stories. Most of those stories are worse than reality. Silence forces them to sit alone with their decision. No validation, no reassurance, no emotional supply. Just their thoughts. That's when the weight arrives. Now comes the part that breaks their ego. Not instantly, not dramatically, quietly. the glow up. Regret requires contrast. They must see a difference between who you were and who you became. If you stay the same, their brain says, I made the right choice. If you improve, their brain says, I miscalculated. This glow up is not cosmetic, it's structural. Physical health, mental stability, routine, self-respect, boundaries, purpose. Yes, gym helps. Yes, appearance matters, but energy matters more. You walk differently. You speak differently. You tolerate less. You require more. And here's the key. You don't announce it. You don't broadcast motivation quotes. You don't seek their attention. You simply live. One day, they get curious. They check. They scroll. They expect to see damage. They expect to see sadness. They expect to see stagnation. They see growth. They see confidence. They see stability. They see momentum. That creates a brutal internal realization. They're better without me. Not they moved on, but I was the weight. I was the limitation. I was the problem. That realization scars. If you executed the first 3 steps, they will reach out, almost guaranteed. But not how you imagine, not with accountability, not with ownership, not with apology, with crumbs. Hey, how are you? I miss you. A late night like, a reaction, a memory. This is not courage. This is curiosity. They are checking access. They are checking temperature. They are checking if the door is still unlocked. If you respond fast, you fail. If you overshare, you fail. If you pour emotion, you fail. Because you teach them, I was waiting. Your power is in scarcity. Best response? No response. Second best? Short, neutral, closed. I'm good. No question back. No continuation. You don't punish. You don't explain. You don't lecture. You simply remain unavailable. That's when panic starts. They start remembering. Not the fights, not the problems, the laughter, the inside jokes, the comfort, the way you showed up, the way you cared. Human memory edits pain. It amplifies warmth. They begin comparing everyone new to you, and most people fail that comparison. They realize you were rare. Not perfect, but rare. And rare things hurt to lose. Here's the paradox. You start this journey wanting revenge, validation, regret, an apology. But somewhere between silence and discipline and growth, you change. You stop checking. You stop hoping. You stop caring. Not because you're numb, but because you're full. By the time they're ready, you're unavailable. Not intentionally, naturally. That is real power. Stop chasing people who chose to walk away. Start becoming someone people fear losing. If this resonated, subscribe, because we don't beg here, we evolve.